For every 1,000 striking at the leaves of evil, there is one striking at the root. What's up, world? What's up, free thinkers? It's Terrence. Thanks for checking me out, giving me a chance, seeing what this is all about. This is part 2 of my deep dive into the 7 habits of highly effective people. Still not done with the first section or first chapter. There's so much that I'm getting out of it, and I'm glad that I'm actually taking my time instead of just rushing through it. It's probably why I gave up the first time, because nothing really sat. I didn't take any time for things to digest. So basically, in the first section or first chapter, they're talking about, let's see if I can get to the page, character ethic, which is basically courage, justice, patience, integrity, simplicity, modesty, and there's personality ethic, which pretty much is behavior, skills, techniques that lubricate the process of human interaction. So there's character ethic and personality ethic. Pretty much goes through that throughout the whole book. I didn't really focus on that too much. What held weight to me was the stories. I think that's what holds weight to more people, because they can actually visualize, they can see themselves in a situation. There's this family, and they had this son that was pretty much deemed inadequate in a lot of things. In baseball, they said that he would pretty much throw or swing the bat before the pitcher even threw the ball. So he wasn't good at sports. He wasn't good academically. He could barely follow the rules, and he just suffered and just wasn't really good in many things. And so his parents would always tell him, hey, you'll do good. Or, hey, you'll do better next time. They always try to give him these positive affirmations. Or when people made fun of him or ridiculed them and their son, they would instantly jump in and have their son's back and defend him. You know, like, leave him alone. He's just a kid, all this other stuff. And it really wasn't helping him. So they decided, after much research, they started to back away and back down just a little bit. You know, and eventually got to the point where he had to learn how to bump his head on his own. He eventually got really, really good at sports, really, really good academically, because they were kind of hindering him. See, their intention was just to, not necessarily to cradle him or to put a shield on him, but they wanted the best for him. But what they wanted wasn't necessarily the best for him. He could shine in other ways that they couldn't see because they were hindering him. So as soon as they stepped back, they could let him shine. And that's exactly what he did. There's also this one thing that they did that's pretty cool. I actually showed it to my mom. There's this picture. And what they did is they showed the class this picture, and they passed out some cards to half the class. And they gave them this picture. And they gave them another picture. This one. Now, the crazy thing is, you know, they wanted to see, like, what did you get out of it? You know, do you see a young lady or an old lady? You see, it could actually be both. There's no right or wrong. You see if I can get this while I'm holding the phone like this. This long thing right here could be the nose. That could be the nose, see? Digging her nose. That could be her mouth, and her chin could be right there. Or that could be her eyebrow, right above my finger. That could be her eyelash, and that could be her nose, you see? So is it a young lady or is it an old lady? Pretty cool, right? Take your time with that. You may want to pause the video, look at it for a little bit. And there's also this one. It's kind of easier to see. It's kind of easier to see an old lady in this one. But it could also be a young lady just wearing a shawl. But you can see a big nose, lips, a chin, or this right here could be a chin. That right there could be the nose. That could be the eyelash. That could be the ear. She's just dressed up fancy, right? Then I have this one other page where there's nothing fancy in here. It's just one picture. See? It's one picture. And everybody saw the same image in the third one, but it's crazy. Some people saw old people. Some people saw a young lady. You know, my mom was like, is it even a lady? Let's not even go that far. But people saw different things. People saw different interpretations of it. And so it's like, what you think is wrong may be right to somebody else. That's why I love this book so far, because it's all about perspective. It's all about how you perceive things. And like I said, it's the stories that hold weight to me. So I'm still not done, but there's this section where this other story where there's all these people on a bus. I believe it's either like a Sunday or like a Monday morning. Everybody's on this train or bus. Everyone's, there's not really people talking too much. Nobody's loud. People are like sleeping. People are resting. It's calm, serene, normal. And then all of a sudden the door opens. Not all these kids, but a couple kids come in the train. They're loud, rambunctious. They start running around. They're yelling, they're fighting. They start grabbing things out of people's hands who are just, chilling and relaxing and everything. They're just going crazy. They're really, for y'all people around my age, baby's kids. They're bad. And so everyone's like, what the hell? What's going on? We were just chilling. We were just relaxing. We were calmed down. And, it's the complete opposite now. It's a zoo in this train. And so the father sits down next to one of the passengers, and the passenger is like, how long am I going to let this go on before I say something? The passenger finally says something to the guy. He's like, are those your kids? And the guy's like, yes. He's like, you may want to get them they're kind of rowdy, aren't they? And he agrees. He's like, yeah, they kind of, aren't they? Yeah, they actually are. And the original passenger is like, well, why don't you try to get them to calm down? Why don't you try to get them to sit down? And, because everyone was calm and they're very loud and disturbing. And the father was like, I apologize. Their mom just died about an hour ago. We just left the hospital. I don't really know how to mentally deal with it. And I guess they don't know how to deal with it either. And so the guy that was wanting to be a jerk, the guy that was pissed off and annoyed, that asked him the question, that wanted the kids to calm down, he suddenly, I don't want to say got checked, but his perception instantly changed. Like he felt sorry. He asked what he could do, how he could help instantly. You never really know what anybody's going through. And I thought that was crazy. Instantly, just knowing something that you didn't know before, it looked like something, but it wasn't really what it was. It was the kids being kids. It was the kids not knowing how to react, and their mom just died. How do you expect anybody? People are going to act completely different. You get 5 people, you'll probably get 5 different reactions if something like that were to happen. So it's crazy. So there was this one quote that I want to leave y'all with, if I can get to it. For every 1,000 hacking at the leaves of evil, there is one striking at the root. Say that again. For every 1,000 hacking at the leaves of evil, there is one striking at the root. I'll read the rest of it. That was a quote, but I'll read the rest of it. We can only achieve quantum improvements in our lives as we quit hacking at the leaves of attitude and behavior and get to work on the root, the paradigms from which our attributes and behaviors flow. See if I think I highlighted it. Paradigm. That's another thing in this book, or so far in the first chapter, it talks about paradigms. It says, paradigm is the way we see the world. But not the way we see with our eyes, but the way we see in terms of perceiving, understanding, and interpreting. That's essentially what this whole chapter is about. Perceiving, understanding, and interpreting. So you may think that you've won an argument. You may think that you've won a fight. You may think that you're doing the right thing. And it very well could be. But it's always good to play devil's advocate and see where the other person's coming from. That being said, stay tuned for video or part 3, because I'm not stopping. We finishing this book. You are your outcome. Peace. Hard work was foreign. It was something I couldn't quite grasp. But I refused to ever say any effort I ever made was trash.